Hey everybody, this is Blue, and to start off the video, I looked at my subscriber count recently and I hit the 200 mark. So for all my subscribers out there, thank you and cheers. So I wanted to talk about AI. Up until recently, I had no opinion on it. I was seeing a lot of videos talking about Hasbro, WotC, and some of these bigger companies using AI art, and I was trying to stay neutral on this because I didn't use AI art, and so I didn't think I was qualified to make a stance. That has changed recently. This last month, my son showed me Novel AI, which is a subscription service website, and it costs me $25 a month. And it has graphics on there, AI graphics, so you can do some AI generated images. And now that I have worked with it, I have an opinion. And probably not the most popular opinion, but there are a lot of people out there that want to say that Hasbro, WotC, and the other big companies should not use AI. And I think that is wrong. The reason is because it's a resource. And to deny people resources, even if it's a big company, I think is kind of being unrealistic. If you want to say that Hasbro WotC should not be used in AI art, then you should also be saying that we should not be using computer printing systems. We should go back to the old set type pattern where everything was hand printed. Because those are jobs too that were lost to technology. And unfortunately, in reality, we're going to lose jobs to advancements in technology, and AI art is going to be one of them. I think that they are going to need to really police their AI art a lot better than what they have. Because now that I have worked with it, I've seen that I would say maybe only 10% of the images that I create are worth keeping. The rest of them are, they have oddities to it. A creature that all of a sudden has 3 arms when it had 2 on the previous image. I've been working with a lot of snake kin, and I've had images where this one creature all of a sudden has 3 tail ends and 1 tail. Things are looping around, and it just makes no sense whatsoever. Now, I have programs where I can edit some of the basic mistakes out pretty easily, because there are some good images out there. They only have a small little error, and I can fix those myself. But the big companies, they should be able to hire the people to police their images and create a quality product. Now, if you don't want the big companies like WotC to be using AI art, you have the only power you need. Don't buy their stuff. Okay? If you believe that they need to be supporting artists more, and all they're doing is AI art, well then don't buy their product. Okay? That is your choice. You do you. I think that they should be able to, without repercussions, use AI art on their small images that they have in their books. So if there's a 4x3 inch dragon in a column in a book, I don't think they should be ridiculed for that. Make sure it's a good one, instead of something with that has some flaws to it, like some of their Magic the Gathering cards. And then maybe they should, you know, in um, in an act of compassion, I believe then like the bigger companies should like hire an artist to create the cover art. And some of the modules that we buy, they have some beautiful full page artwork. Have an actual person do those, okay? Maybe hire artists that can go through and adjust and fix all the weird stuff that AI art creates. I don't think that they dare to completely get rid of artists because they need a professional flair if they want to sell their books on a large scale. Because let's face it, if the cover art sucks, are you going to buy it? Probably not. One moment. So, I've been creating a lot of AI art, and it's a wonderful resource. If you are wanting to do a lot of retro, old school role playing, I think AI art might be worth the investment. I mean, even if it's just for a couple months and all that, because it can do a lot to boost the game. Even if you're not trying to publish it, it's, for personal use, like what most of mine is going to be. I think it's awesome. So, retro. One of the old games back in the late 70s was Star Frontiers. Okay? Science fiction. Created by TSR. And this is one of those creatures from Star Frontiers. It's called a Dralocyte. It was a protoplasm type creature, and it's, if I remember right, dexterity or speed, or I think it was dexterity. The higher the dexterity, the more limbs it had. And so you could have a Dralocyte that has 3 arms, maybe. They show them in the images here where they have 3 legs. Well, there's some images where they only had 2 legs and 3 arms. And the bad thing is, this was an example basically of all the images we had from Star Frontiers for the Dralocyte. Because, Star Frontiers did not get very, very popular. And you can go online, and generally these are the images that you're finding. And so you're stuck using these old images, and you just wish that you could have some new images to inspire, to motivate, so you can put your own little spin on them, because maybe you thought, man, the Dralocytes are cool, but I would like to do this differently. So I was able to take these images and put it through the AI computer system. And this is what I came up with. Now, you might not like them, and that's fine. But these are now my modern version of Dralocytes. I'm not going to be calling Dralocytes in my game. They're going to be called something different, because the game that they're going to be in is a fantasy. Star Frontiers was a science fiction. Okay? And you can see how they don't wear armor, because since they're protoplasm, the metal armor is a massive encumbrance on them. They do not like to wear anything, that's thicker than rigid leather. Okay? But I have all these images right here. And these are just 5. I think I made, I'd say about 15 of them, different images. Some have wands, some have hammers, daggers. They all have different weapons. They all have different things that they're wearing. You see one with just a cloak on, one with well, the very top one, whatever you want to call it, an apron, some with just a loincloth. But these are new, they're modern, and so I can get inspired in creating the new version of Drellicites, and it will make the game more fun. I can easily grab one of these images, print it off, and put it with character sheets, and all of a sudden I have a unique Drellicite character that looks like nothing else. And that is something we could take pride in. Especially with our groups, because then we can print off one of these and go, and here's your character that you're wanting to create. Here's what a Drellicite looks like. Have fun. And so my son, I have to joke about this because we did the evil laugh saying that he messed up by showing me this. I had paper books that I made with images that I've scavenged from around that included the old images of Drellicites. And he showed me Novel AI, and I went through and I was combining images, testing everything out, adding new parameters, removing parameters, and I was able to create new or heavily adapted creatures. I now have 73 races that I can use in my games, and 73 fantasy races. You see that I have an avian up there. I have 2 variants. If it has a bird head like this one has, it's an avian. But if it has a human head, it's a harpy. Okay? Middle top is a ghoul. I actually have ghouls as a sentient race. They could be monstrous, they could be horrific and all that, but I wanted to give what used to be all considered, these are your monsters and all. I wanted to give them characters and traits and all that, so that, if you wanted to do a little bit something darker, you could do it. I also feel that if it's a sentient race, then you should be a playable race. That's why there's 73 of them in my world so far. Next one is the Gnoll. The Gnolls were in many games mindless savages and all that. While they can be brutal in my world, they have some intelligence and all that, which makes them interesting. And you can have these at all different scales. This whole set, these 10 characters, are set pretty much on scale for what they are. If you notice, I got one in the upper right-hand corner. Yes, that's a mouse. It's not fucking Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse. It is a mouse art, which is what I'm going to be calling the race as of right now. White mouse with big ears, so it hears everything. But, it's, the size of Jerry from Tom and Jerry. And so it can sneak in places where the big creatures can't. And so the ghoul and the gnoll are about human size. Then the bottom 4 are, they're bigger. The far right is a Monkian. And, he just looks so mean, tough, and strong. I love it. The next image over at the tall lady, gray skin, and looks like spiked hair, that's based off the Camoans, off of Star Wars. I wanted some taller figures, and so I took one of those images and I started to play with it a little bit. And I was able to come up with that, and I just love it. The next image over the big female, that's a Metu, or a magical orc. Yes, magical orcs. And, most of the females are a little bit bigger. And, she's got the magic and all that. And then, oh gosh, now I can't even think of their names. But the very left-handed one, the four-legged centaur type creature. That's unique. That's something that I created. And I didn't want to do a traditional centaur. I think there's not very many variants on them, and most of them are pretty boring. This is unique. And so, we can do so much with AI art. We just have to be creative. And if we're going to publish this stuff, because I know there's so many channels of people that are publishing images and that, give credit where credit's due. Even Hasbro, if they're using AI art, should be crediting the companies that do this, a lot. I think they tried to get away with spending any money that they have to, and it's going to affect their product. But for us small-time creators, I think something like Novel AI would be, worth its weight in proverbial gold, because we could do so much more with it. I could probably do a lot with trees and everything. Kobolds. These are my kobolds, okay? There's always been a little bit of gray area in some games about the difference between orcs, goblins, and kobolds. And I decided that I was going to get rid of that confusion in my game. So, orcs are the biggest. They have a gray or grayish blue hued skin. Middle ground, so roughly about the size of orcs, maybe just a little bit smaller, not orcs, dwarves, are going to be the goblins. Goblins have green skin. And the smallest is the kobolds, and they have a brownish skin to them. And as you can see, they got generally the same outfit on, but some have nines, some have wands, and all that. And they got a pretty uniform look to them. So in my game, when I print stuff off for the guys and all that, each one is unique. They're not having to share the same image, which is going to add to the game. So I think this is absolutely wonderful. So in my opinion, I think we need to allow some of these bigger companies to use AI as long as they are policing the images that they are using. If they only wanting to put out crappy product, let's not buy it. Don't support it. Okay. We got to get rid of any rhetoric involving AI art, so that the small creators don't get any shame, because we don't want somebody to go, oh, that's AI art. AI art, yeah. Okay. For some of us, it's the best we can come up with to create wonderful product for our fellow gamers, or for those of you that publish small time third-party product. I think this is a good way to go. Please put your comments down below. I would love to hear your opinion on everything. So everybody, please take care and be at peace.